Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the SEC football schedule for this week. And honestly, I was thinking about games I want to cover, and there was no game I was like, I want to cover that specifically because there's a lot of good matchups. And right now, there were two I was wanting to discuss, and one of them was Texas and Oklahoma, and the other one was Kentucky and Georgia. So I decided, well, I'm not going to do Texas versus Oklahoma. I don't think I know enough about them teams. I don't care enough about those teams, to be honest, for right now. So let me just discuss the SEC this week. We have three teams on byes. It's South Carolina, Tennessee, and Auburn. Only Auburn just probably needs a bye after the loss they had against Georgia. And Tennessee also needs a very important time to get a bye for Tennessee heading into the really tough stretch they're going through. South Carolina, they need a bye to regroup. So, we got teams now that we're in a very important SEC stretch, and there are three specific games that are very important, but I'll cover all of them. First up, you have the noon game. Let me get the least important one out the way. Western Michigan heading to Mississippi State. Mississippi State has looked awful in SEC play. Granted, they've had to play LSU and Alabama, but in those games, they've shown no positives almost at all. So, they really, really, really need to step it up. And they might be able to. And they're going to probably beat Western Michigan. Then you have the LSU, number 23, travels up to play number 21, Missouri. I mentioned before the year started that Missouri has a legitimate chance to be 5-0 heading into this game. And they're 5-0 heading into this game right now. Brady Cook and their receiving core, and you have this defense playing pretty good. Their offense is hitting at all cylinders. And one thing LSU is bad at is stopping offenses. It showed against Ole Miss. It showed against Florida State. And if this team can play to that level of offense, they have a legitimate chance to win. But one thing LSU is good at is scoring. They have a terrible defense, which surprises a lot of people, including me, but a very good offense, which doesn't surprise almost anyone. Heading into this game is going to be a very close matchup. Missouri just won a big game against Kansas State with a 61-yard field goal for this kid. The thicker kicker is amazing. Missouri's on a magical ride. I want that to continue. I really do. I legitimately think that Missouri has a chance to win this one because of how bad LSU's defense is. They have continuously let up big plays in poor situations. They did not get a key first down against Ole Miss when they had the chance to. And they had penalties go against them in very important situations late in games. I'm referring to LSU against Ole Miss. And they crumbled because of that. They missed up opportunities because of that. And they can't do that against Missouri because Missouri's actually performed very well this year. Give Missouri the credit they deserve. They have played very good football. Their receiving core is great. I forgot the receiver's name, but he is the number one receiving leader right now in the SEC. I'll put his name up. I think it's like Luther Burton or something like that. If that's true, if that's his name, then that just came to mind. But shout to them, shout to him and this team. This game is going to be very close. I think the crowd will be heavily into it. I got Missouri winning this one. I do not trust LSU right now. I got Missouri winning it very, very close game. If I had to guess, it'd be 28. No, not 28. 38-35. It's going to be a higher scoring game. Not to the level of Ole Miss LSU, because that was egregiously terrible defenses. I doubt that will happen again this year. Then you have at 3:30, number 11 Alabama travels down to play Texas A&M. A&M's unranked, but they could definitely be ranked. They're a team that's capable of doing that. They have had very good wins against Auburn. They destroyed them. And a solid win against Arkansas. They've had problems of stopping big plays, though, and mainly against Miami. They had problems with that. They don't have to worry that much against Alabama. Alabama's not going after the big play threat type of things. They're not going to throw the ball 50 yards down the field or anything like that. You don't expect kick returns to make the big difference. The difference, though, is going to be Milroe. Milroe, he's actually become a very good runner, but he seems a lot more poised in the pocket. He will wait a little bit more, The game against Mississippi State showed out how fast he truly is if you didn't know that before. Splitting between two safeties to get a touchdown. And this defense was looking quite good. They held Ole Miss to 10 points. They held Mississippi State to around 17. This team actually has a really good defense now. And they're playing together. And this team could surprise a lot of people. This team's not done. Alabama's not done. And then you have A&M. They don't have Connor Wingman, but you had Max Johnson, who you got to see how he was going to play against Arkansas. Arkansas is arguably the worst defense in the SEC. Your defense is going to have to win a lot of these games for you. And this is no more than this one. The last time A&M had a backup quarterback heading a game against Alabama, they won. Actually, it was Zach Calzada in 2021 when they had to go down to Kyle Field, game-winning field goal, walk-off. Excuse me. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think the betting line is down to 1 in Bama's favor, which is very interesting to see. I think Bama's defense will be too much. But it'll be tough. It'll be interesting to see how Milroe does in a different environment. Because I get it, Mississippi State's crowd is into it, but at the end of the day, their team cannot compete against Alabama, especially when your defense plays that well. It's tough to play bad and lose. So if you play pretty good or okay, you're going to win. And that's what Milroe did. He played good enough. Good game for Milroe. And I think if he performs at a good level today, or I should say tomorrow, I think they'll be just fine. The run game is very good. Their O-line's got better. They have receivers that can make plays. I got Alabama. I got them winning this one. I'm going to go, we'll go 27-20. I think their defense will do good enough to stop them. I think A&M has enough explosive players on their team to be able to make plays like Evan Stewart. I think the run game can make some big plays, but you need a lot of special team stuff to get in there like you had last time. Was it A-Chain? Not that A-Chain. Might have been A-Chain or was it Spiller that had that kick return touchdown against Bama the year that they won. 2 years ago that they won. They have to have plays like that. Random plays like that to be able to win this game. And they can, but you gotta show it. Then you got Vanderbilt versus Florida at 4 o'clock. Florida should win this one pretty easily. It's in the swamp. That'll be an easy one for Florida. And let me discuss this game before I get to the main one I mentioned to start the video. At 7:30, got Arkansas traveling to Ole Miss. Ole Miss off a huge win against LSU. It just looks like Ole Miss is going to keep riding. Last year, Arkansas whooped Ole Miss. I don't think that's going to happen again. I got Ole Miss winning this one. They're going to score a lot of points. This defense sucks for Arkansas. And I feel bad for Arkansas fans, but I like Arkansas. It's just they've wasted KJ Jefferson and Rocket Sanders' college career because they don't have a defense and their O-line sucks. And they're still performing, just not to what these other college quarterbacks and running backs can. Because you see what Ole Miss can do when you don't have a great defense, but you have an O-line, you have good playmakers, you can get them in open space, see what happens. Arkansas just hasn't been able to do that since the first half of the 2021 year. But Sam Pittman's still a pretty good coach. This team was awful about 5-6 years ago. Remember, awful. Like losing, who was it? Who was that team North Texas they lost to at one point before Sam Pittman got there, and then Sam Pittman's actually able to put them in competitive games. So you better not fire Sam Pittman. Keep him on the team. Then you have the 7 o'clock game. Number 20, Kentucky travels to play Georgia. This game is the most important game of the week. I don't care what people say. Oklahoma, Texas, very important stuff. But usually in the Oklahoma, Texas game, it's a very close rivalry. It's a very close rivalry overall. But unless if Texas wins, Texas ends up losing later on in the year to some other team. If Oklahoma wins, usually the show on to make the Big 12 title game. It's an important game. It's a very important game. But this one's more important based off the fact that this team could actually lose. Georgia could actually lose this game. They're 14.5 favorites. That is ridiculous. But Georgia could actually lose this one against Devin Leary. I know. People really forget that they had these 3 great receivers. that they might have to use, but oh no, they've used Barian Brown and Dan Key and the other guy, I forgot his name. Oh no, you have to use them. It's not like Ray Davis just ran the ball for 280 yards against Florida. This team is really good, and their defense is solid. And if anyone can get a team prepared outside of Nick Saban to be able to play Georgia, it'd be Mark Stoops. He's been in Kentucky longer than Kirby Smart's been at Georgia. He knows his team very well. Kentucky needs this win. Georgia also probably needs this win. But a close game. I would not say Georgia needs this win. Kentucky needs it, though. This is a huge season changer if you win this game. You're already on a very good start, but this changes everything if you win this game. Carson Beck, he only throws Brock Bowers in the fourth quarter because he's the only guy that gets open. He's the only guy who does. I know Matt McConkey's come off an injury. I know A.D. Mitchell's not there, but my gosh, get open if you're other guys for Georgia. And if you're Kentucky, you have to guard Brock Bowers at all times. Double team him. Put a linebacker in safety. Guy for the top, guy for the bottom. You got to do that. And put linebackers in the middle. Do not let him get open. I would rather you guard him than stack the box. Because this Georgia run team is not looking great. They didn't run the ball right through South Carolina. They did not do that. And this team is like, oh, well, South Carolina might have a decent run defense. No, they do not. Tennessee ran for 238 yards on them. They did not throw. They just didn't throw. Everyone knew they were going to run it, and they couldn't stop it. This rush offense for Georgia is not elite. It's very good. And I think you can be able to plan for that if you're Kentucky. I got this game being very, very close. But Devin Leary's made more big games than Carson Beck has. And if you want to argue that, look at Devin Leary's career at NC State. He's had to play Clemson multiple times. He's actually beat them before. He's had to play very important games, rivalry games against North Carolina, a lot of stuff like that, more than Carson Beck has, and prove himself to play at a better level and in bigger games than Carson Beck has. I believe that Kentucky will actually win this game. I got the score being 23-27. Let's go, Kentucky. I know I was talking bad about Kentucky to start the year, but you got me to be a believer, so don't let me down. Do not let me down. So, yeah, that's SEC schedule for this week. Hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, y'all. Put that in the comments, whichever you want. And, yeah, I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.